Good evening and welcome to the Chrissy B Show. Well, tonight on the show, we'll be looking into getting fit for the summer. Yes, it's that time of year again when we get more aware of our body. We've shed the winter clothes, so now it's time to shed the winter weight, and I've had a bit to shed as well. On the show tonight, we have two fitness experts who are on hand to help us with tips on how to stay fit and how hopefully losing weight can also be fun, if that's possible, they were telling us. And I find actually when you go to the gym, sometimes the enthusiasm can wear off after a while. So I'll be looking forward to getting their advice on that as well. And we'll also have a nutritionist who's going to be on hand to give us all some pointers on a healthy diet to provide the much needed nutrients for our bodies whilst also aiding weight loss. So have you repeatedly tried to lose weight but can't seem to be able to shift those pounds despite your best efforts? Do you find yourself giving up after a short while with the fitness regime? Do you feel self-conscious because of the extra weight you may be carrying? Or are you going on holiday and you want to maybe get some tips on how to look great in your beachwear? Well, today's show will endeavour to help you break any of the bad habits and learn new ones and effective ones. So don't forget, you can get in touch with us by email anytime. You can email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv. You can also phone us if you want, 020-7686-6300. And also you can visit our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And we've got quite a few comments and questions from our viewers tonight. First of all, I'd like to introduce my first guest for the evening. We've got Shelley here, who's shed quite a few pounds, right? We've also got Rob, our fitness expert, and also Ben, who was our nutritional expert. So welcome to the show, guys. So now, Shelley, let me come over closer to you. So I know you have been on quite a journey so far, haven't you?
Definitely.
Yeah. So how much weight have you lost altogether?
It's 31 pounds now.
31 pounds, great. So have you been finding it hard to do? How's it been going?
Yeah, it's okay. It's keeping the motivation. But yeah.
So did you try on your own before like getting help from Rob?
Several times.
So how was that going?
Oh, just difficult. I went to the gym, just didn't keep up with it.
How long did it last?
4 weeks.
That's better than a week, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was happening there? When you motivated on your own?
When I just got home from work, I just sat down and I didn't want to move. But with Rob, because we book into his sessions.
Yeah. How did you find out about Rob then?
I actually picked up a leaflet in local hairdressers.
Okay. All right. And Rob, what do you actually do? Can you explain?
I run a boot camp, which happens 7 days a week. And then obviously I have boot campers that come to me. It's not. It's not at all. It is a little bit, but it's not too bad. And then obviously they book into me, which I think helps with motivation as well. If they can book into me at the start of the week, which I would advise sort of anyone to do, whether it be with someone, just to kind of put something into your diary, just to be able to make sure that you've got it there and you can go straight there. I also do personal training as well, in a fitness studio sort of in Hertford.
Okay, tell us about your boot camp sessions, what's involved.
It varies really. We do always sort of start with a warm-up, so get the heart rate up straight away. And then we do different kind of challenges, we do different sort of supersets. We make sure that every boot camp session is a full body workout, so you're working your main muscle groups every time you come.
So is it like an hour
It's
session?
an hour long, yeah.
Okay then. And can anyone join, or do you have to have a certain fitness level?
Anyone at all. We have people from the early 20s, such as Shelley, through to late 50s, 60s, and of all sort of shapes and sizes as well, and different kind of fitness levels. So literally.
So you've been helping Shelley on her weight loss journey, right? And we've actually got some pictures of Shelley before she shed the 31 pounds. Amazing! I'm so proud of you. That's really good. So let's just take a look at the pictures of Shelley before. Wow. So you've really come a long way, haven't you? How does it feel to lose so much weight?
Amazing. It really boosts your confidence.
Yeah.
And I feel so much healthier.
And was it mainly through the boot camp stuff, or did you also go on a diet as well?
Yeah, well, a lifestyle change, definitely. I'm more aware of what I'm eating now. Yeah. But thanks to Rob, because I didn't have a clue before.
Really?
So
what kind of things did he teach you then? Share with us.
Less carbohydrates and more protein, especially as we're working hard and we're building muscle. So you have to give your body the protein.
So Ben, how important is it, the nutritional aspect of losing weight as well? Because we all know we have to cut down on the amount of food we eat, but how about other maybe tips that you can give as well when someone's trying to lose weight?
The whole nutrition thing, it's so important when it comes to getting results. A lot of people, and you'll see it, gyms, they train 5, 6, 7 times a week and they're not getting the results they want. And that's just because they've not looked at the nutrition. And it's sometimes what a lot of people use exercise for is they think, right, I'll run on the treadmill 20 minutes and then go and eat this, that, and that.
Anything.
But you have to get the two together. If you look at the average marathon runners, they couldn't train any more, but you'll still see lots of overweight runners. Not talking about the elite level guys, the normal crowd fun runners. So you've got to get the nutrition in place. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of effort without the rewards you deserve.
Okay, and you're going to be telling us more about that because we have got some questions from our viewers about nutrition as well. Guys, are you able to show us a few moves and some of the moves that you do in your boot camp classes?
Yeah, I mean, the main sort of thing I think is to make sure you're doing compound movements, which is when you're using more than one muscle group, especially for the guys that are in a bit of a rush, that work long hours, that don't have time. For the gym and things like that. Compound is when you're using more than one muscle group at any one exercise. So we're going to show you the squat, which is obviously working your legs and also your bums.
I'll just stay here and watch you.
That's fine. So Shelley's going to get into a squat position for us. So notice with the squat, you've got your shoulders back, you've got your back nice and straight as well. A lot of people hunch their shoulders over. Really important to get your back in line. You're activating your core as well, and also making sure that your knees don't drop over your toes, so you're not putting as much pressure onto your knees. It's more sort of sticking to your legs and also your bum as well. So from here, this is obviously a holding squat. You can then go into sort of more squats, so you can do a set of squats, where a lot of people do sort of between 10 to 12 squats. The advancement from this would be a jump squat, and it would also be being able to sort of hold weights, sort of either by your side or up by your shoulders as well. So this is obviously what we call a compound movement, as I say.
And this is good for everything then?
This is good for your legs and also for your bum as well.
Okay. All right, and do you have any other moves to show us?
Yes, we're going to show you the advancements of a press up as well. So Shelley's going to show you a half press up.
I feel a bit lazy sitting here just watching you.
Right,
no, that's all right.
We've got the half press up here as well. So press up, as I was saying, with me using more than one muscle group at any one time. The press up works across your chest and across your shoulders as well. And also your triceps. So this is a half press up. So the advancement from this would be a full press up, which I think I'm going to now demonstrate for you.
Okay.
So really important to make sure that your whole body is in line. Your shoulders are above your hands, and from this position you're going straight down and straight up. Okay, so just making sure your whole body's going down. A lot of people drop their hips, which leads to sort of bad backs and things like that as well. So making sure your core's nice and tight and taking the pressure off your back, and then you're going straight down and straight back up again.
Now Rob, I see in these films and stuff like Rocky and Rambo and all, they do like these press-ups, the one-handed press-ups. Are they not dangerous to do?
As long as you're that advanced to be able to do them safely and properly.
Does it
with
put
the
pressure
right
on the
sort of
wrist or
technique.
anything?
It can do, but I think if you can sort of if you're able to do it, then I would have thought your sort of body is strong enough to be able to cope with it.
Okay then.
But I wouldn't advise it to any sort of beginners or anything like that.
Okay then. All right, thanks for demonstrating.
Okay.
Take a seat. All right. So Rob, tell us then, sorry, not Rob, Ben. So if someone does want to lose some weight along with an exercise regime, what's the best kind of nutrition advice you can give a person?
Well, first of all, it's just taking a long-term approach. What a lot of people do is they just go crazy and they stop eating for 3 days or 4 days. But what that ends up is, maybe 5 days later you quit and then you go crazy.
Do you want to advise those fad diets then that
definitely
a lot
not,
of people do, especially celebrities?
Definitely, the celebrities do that. They're highly motivated and they can focus to and stick to it. They've got a lot of rewards. But for most people, it brings out that resentment cycle where they'll stick to it a few days and then they'll fail away. So when you've got a long-term approach, then we can start getting some good advice which you actually follow through.
Okay then. Well, I'd just like to bring a couple of questions from our viewers because we have got quite a few. So I'll start with a fitness one. This lady is Anna, and she's asking, what is the best time to exercise? I have heard that if you are overweight, you should exercise after you eat, and if you are at the weight you want to be, you should exercise before you eat. Does it really matter? And if so, why and how? And she says a big hug for all and congratulations because the show's amazing. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, so maybe that's the one that you can both answer because it's...
Yeah, I mean,
for most normal people, they shouldn't really worry about it too much, is what I'd be saying. You know, there's different studies, it's like time of exercise, there's different studies about 6 in the morning, 6 at night. It was done like Olympic athletes. You know, for the normal person, it's trying to work out what they've got to do. So for some people, if they're getting up to train at 7 in the morning and they got low blood sugar and they're feeling lightheaded in the gym, you know, it's a disaster not to try and eat something in that sense. So for this lady, it's trying to look at how it fits into her lifestyle. It's going to be probably more important than the befores and that. As far as actually being able to get results, whether you do or not, that sounds a bit of a myth, to be honest. I've not heard of anything saying
that's the first time I've heard of that actually as well.
Body shape reflecting when to
Anything you want to add to that, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the obvious answer is not to eat anything too heavy before you do start a workout, just because you obviously won't feel that great whilst working out.
Before a workout, like?
Just sort of a light snack just to sort of make sure you've got enough energy to be able to get through your workout. Obviously not something too high calorie, because then you end up spending your time in the gym just burning off the thing that you've just eaten. So just something light, something easy, something quick, just to be able to sort of have to give you enough energy throughout the workout.
Okay then, all right. And let's see, we've got another question here. Now I think one of the things, actually I'll leave that for our next expert that's coming on. Let me check this one. Okay, this is from Helena, and she says she's been trying to get fit at home with her exercise bike, but then as soon as she goes jogging, if she doesn't eat certain things, she feels weak or lightheaded. Then she says, they say I should eat bananas or nuts before a workout, but these do nothing for me. What's the best food to eat after and before a workout? I'm the kind that eats a light snack every 2.5 hours.
So in general, if you're eating all the time, then it's a sign.
Yeah, it sounds like she is every 2.5 hours.
Basically, we've got this ideal ratio that we need to eat per meal of protein, carbs to fat. Now, when you get it right, you'll become very energized post-eating. So you should be able to go 3 to 4 hours post-eating. The fact she says she's always eating suggests that she's not hitting that ratio. So what she needs to do is go back to and experiment with these macronutrients. So that could be, maybe she needs to have 2 bananas and half the amount of nuts that she's been having, and she might do that and find she feels amazing, or vice versa. Maybe she needs to have half a banana and more nuts, and that will change the ratio. Everyone's now always on the lookout for some advice, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, but you've got to link advice to how you feel. So she can do these experiments and see, but right now you can guarantee she's getting those ratios wrong, because if she wasn't, she wouldn't be hungry every 2 to 2.5 hours. And this is what you see with people day in, day out on their diets. They're eating at 8 a.m. for breakfast, then they get to work and they're snacking by 10 o'clock, then they're eating at 12, then the mid-afternoon, and it's just because they're never getting those ratios even close to being right. So, and if she'd like that when she's running, good chance that's low blood sugar dropping as well. So she needs to look at these sort of aspects too.
Okay then. Shelley, tell us about how you changed your eating habits then, because you did correct me. I said diet before and you changed it, you corrected it immediately, which was good. So tell me about the changes that you've made.
I've just become more aware. So like as Rob was saying, before I exercise, I'll have a handful of nuts. That's your protein, it keeps you energised. My portion sizes, they were always a big problem.
What kind of things were you eating before?
Everything.
Everything in large, because with me, I tend to eat a lot, but I eat quite healthy stuff, which is still not good because I still put on weight, and I had to lose like 5 pounds recently as well. But were you eating sort of junk food and as well as the healthy stuff? Yeah,
all the time.
Okay.
But now I found a love for my fruit and I enjoy it now.
Are you not hungry sometimes?
No,
because it's good.
As Ben was saying, if you get it right, you can go through the day without having to eat constantly.
Okay. So Rob, can you tell us just a bit more if someone wants to get in touch about your boot camp classes?
I mean, they can contact me through the website, and there's like an email me sort of page, and they can basically put a book onto any sort of boot camp. They have kind of a trial session, make sure that it's the right thing for them. I think that's the most important thing when you are trying a new sort of workout regime, to make sure that you are comfortable with the workout, you're comfortable with the people that you're working out with, and you enjoy it. People have got to a certain extent, be able to enjoy going to their classes, going to the gym, going to their personal trainer. Otherwise they just won't do it, and they'll fall back into sort of their old ways.
Okay then. So you are going to stay with us, but you're going to come back on after us.
Yep.
And Ben, you're going to stay with us because we've got lots more questions for you. Thank you so much, Shelley, and good luck with everything in the future as well. So we're going to go to a quick break now, but if you also have a question, you can email on chris@chrissybshow.tv, and we'll be back after this break. Welcome back. Well, in true spirit of tonight's topic, I had to volunteer myself to be a guinea pig at the place called Movers and Shapers, a gym in Muswell Hill, North London. So let's find out how I coped in this video. So, who wants to get fit for the summer? I do. Well, I'm outside Movers and Shapers here in Muswell Hill, and apparently if you want to get really fit for the summer and you don't have that much time to go to the gym, a couple of sessions here a week, 30-minute sessions, can be all that you need. So we're going to go inside and find out what it's all about. Okay, so I'm here with Ben, who's the Managing Director at Movers and Shapers. Now, Ben, this time of year, people are really wanting to get toned for summer, lose some weight maybe. So is this like an ideal thing then to do if you want to get in shape for the summer?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for us, it's a very busy time. A lot of people come to us in June and say, right, you know, I've got to get beach ready within the next 6 weeks. What can I do?
Now, the equipment that I saw inside the room there is I haven't seen before.
Yeah, we use Powerface equipment. For us, it is the best piece of equipment to get you to your goals quickly. And essentially it uses something called advanced vibration technology. So as you'll see in a second, it is quite a workout still, but what it means is that machine is doing some of the work for you.
I'm gonna go. Hang on a minute. Okay.
So it's an amazing piece of kit actually, and it really allows you to have the equivalent of a 1 hour gym workout in about 20 minutes.
I know there's people that love to go to gyms also because of the social aspect as well, but if you're not really into that and like you don't really mind not talking to people and just getting on with exercise, it's an ideal thing as well to do.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a very boutique-y and intimate environment here, but you've always got 4 or 5 people in the session. So we find a lot of girls come together, for example, or mums and daughters, or husbands and wives, or partners. Because it is still nice to work out with somebody else, but you know, you can come on your own, you can come with friends, and you will meet people here as well as you go through the program.
Tired, and I could really feel that throughout my body. When looking at it, you don't think that it's going to have that much of an impact, but it really does. Immediately I felt it in my muscles. Apparently I've been told I'm glowing as well because of the circulation, so really good workout. I really recommend it to you. You see, I did my part as well. That's why I'm not in my gym stuff today, because now it's for the others to do that. So now I have with me, we have Jane Rafter on my left, who's a fitness expert, and also you've brought along someone that you've been helping out, haven't you?
That's right.
Which is Tiz. Hi Tiz, how are you?
Hello, very well.
How are you both? So tell me, Jane, what kind of things do you do then? What's your work?
Well, we're also based in Muswell Hill and also Crouch End, and we offer fitness classes of all different types, and we go to various different venues. So people who join us subscribe to a certain number of classes per month, either 4 or 8 or unlimited. And then you can mix and match. So you could do a Zumba on a Wednesday night, or you could do yoga on a Thursday morning, and you can vary what you do. And I teach some of the classes, and I also employ 6 teachers. So there's a team of us. So when you join us, you can vary your teachers and also the type of class that you do.
Okay, and you've been helping Tiz out, haven't you?
Yeah, Tiz has been a loyal attender and has done so well at the classes. She's lost so much weight.
How much weight have you lost, Tiz?
Just over 2 stone.
2 stone as well, wow. And we've got some photos as well here of Tiz before. You're going to see the difference. There you go. So that was 2 stone ago.
Yeah.
And how does it feel for you having lost so much weight as well?
It just feels liberating, actually. I mean, it's a very good way to. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, so I still feel me, but I just feel more invigorated and definitely more body positive in the way that I didn't think that I wasn't body positive before, but I definitely am now. So I definitely have noticed a difference.
So it's not just about the way the person looks, is it? Because it's also about how they feel. They're like fitter. They've they can get more done probably. I don't know if you feel that way. Like feel more energetic in general.
For sure, definitely exercise does. I mean, it's one of the things that Jane will say is that exercise gives you more energy, and it absolutely does.
Okay.
And confidence too. I think a lot of women talk about how their confidence levels are transformed. Even if the physical change isn't dramatic, it might be a physical change that they're aware of, but the way it changes your whole outlook, your self-esteem can be quite incredible, really. And lots of women talk about that, and men. But my clients, a lot of them are women, and something they're surprised by it. So they often come to classes to achieve weight loss or toning up a certain area of their body. But actually, interestingly, what keeps them going is the fact that it makes them feel fantastic. So they go home on a high and they feel brilliant.
Now, I've been a bit naughty because I haven't trained for about a month, just because everything's been so busy with the show and everything. So what would you advise someone like me that's got a very busy schedule, doesn't have much time? What would you advise?
I think it is always a tricky issue, and lots of people are juggling lots of different things: work, children, time, lots of pressures. And I think what you have to do is set yourself realistic goals and do simple things like put it in your diary. So whether it's a class or a session you're going to do by yourself, maybe it's a power walk or a swim or whatever it is, look at your diary for the week, look at a time that you're going to do it and put it in your diary.
Okay.
And then if a friend says, can you do this, or work says, can you do that?
No.
You say no, or you move it to another part of your diary, and you protect that area, so you prioritise it equally to other important things in your life.
Because you kind of tend to put it quite a low way down on the to-do list.
It gets slipped, and I think women often feel guilty about prioritising themselves. And I think that's quite a hurdle for a lot of people to get over, and to try and realise that actually, it is important that it's their own health and their self-esteem and everything, and it's really important that you put that time in for yourself and make it happen, because no one else is going to do it for you. You have to do it for yourself.
So did you find that a bit difficult maybe to fit that into your schedule as well, but you made it happen?
Well, this is exactly what I did, and I've done it over a stage period, because as Jane says, I'm one of those women who has a full-time job, is a mother, is a wife, try and fit all of those things in. And it started actually out as a Lenten commitment, so I decided I was going to do exercise 3 times a week during Lent. So that was a fixed period of time, made that commitment, and it was incredibly difficult because life gets in the way. So, you have a work commitment one evening, or you have this, or you have that, or somebody says, oh, this is the only evening I'm free to go out for dinner, let's do that. And actually what I found was that because I've made that commitment to myself for a 6-week period, I had to do exactly what Jane was saying, and that's, rearrange things. And then I discovered that I could walk to work and then run home from work, and that was one way in which I managed to factor in doing some exercise that wasn't taking away from anybody else. You can't
run to work because then you're all sweaty, aren't you?
Exactly, whereas I can run home from work, and that's now one of the things that I do. So that's now one of my exercises, one of my aerobic exercises a week is running home from work. And then I go attend Jane's classes, and I do Pilates, but it has gradually been finding those slots and then sticking with them.
I think the other thing that's important that Tiz has done, and I tell everybody this story, one of the nights that she comes to class, she gets the babysitter. So that in itself is incredible. But one particular time her car wasn't working, and she got a cab to the class and back.
Wow, motivated.
And that is the most committed anyone has ever been.
That's brilliant. Well, that's why we've got the results here today. Exactly. Now you're going to show us a few moves as well, aren't you, Jane? So Tiz, you're going to actually show the demonstration, right? Okay.
Yes, what I'd like to show you, as Rob said earlier, I agree that compound exercises are the way to go, so that you're working more than one part of your body at the same time. So for this first one, we're going to go into a plank position which works the tummy and also the shoulders.
For the lower tummy?
Lower tummy,
great,
yes.
okay.
The whole of the tummy area, this gets, and the shoulders and the arms.
Okay.
So we're going to come into a plank position. I'll show you the easy version first.
Okay.
So if I come down with you, Tiz, come into a 3/4 plank, where the knees are on the floor. So with this position, it's really important that we don't sag down into the lower back here, so we don't arch the back. So this is nice and strong. And just holding that position in itself will strengthen the shoulders and the tummy. Now if you're stronger,
just without doing anything else,
just pulling in the tummy and taking deep breaths. This is a beginner's level. Okay, so anyone who's got wrist problems, shoulder problems, perhaps weak in the upper body, you could just hold this and gradually increase the length of time. But Tiz is going to lift her knees up now. And this is a harder position. There's more body weight loaded into the shoulders.
I've tried this and I'm really shaking.
Shaking is very common, and it doesn't matter if you shake. You don't need to stop through shaking. You would have to stop if you feel discomfort here. Or perhaps lift up a bit and use the abdominals a little bit more. Now Tiz is going to do quite an advanced exercise which really gets into the abdominals whilst working the shoulders at the same time. She's going to pull one knee up towards her chest. There. Now what she's doing now is squeezing here, aren't you, Tiz?
Yes.
And rounding out
like that for ages,
here, and she can go back. And let's just repeat it on the other side, Tiz. So she's squeezing here. It's not just a casual pull up of the knee. She's really engaging the core, and she's also working hard here as well. So that's go back, Tiz. Can you go into a side plank without a rest?
Oh, of course, you're making her work tonight. Wow.
So the side plank is really nice because, again, we're working the shoulder. We've got to make sure we don't collapse through the shoulder. This hand's right above the hand underneath. And Tiz, again, it's a slightly advanced exercise. She's going to drop her hip down towards the floor without collapsing here. And she's going to feel this in her waist muscles, which are called your oblique muscles. And then you pull the hips back up. Just do one more.
You're doing great. I know we're going through this slowly.
She's going to start shaking. And that's perfect. Brilliant. So you can relax for a second. And I've got one more exercise that I'd like to show you, which is for the tummy.
Oh, please, we need the tummy.
Everyone wants tummy. And this is a classic Pilates exercise. So if we lie on our back, Tiz, and it gets you in your upper section of your tummy, but also the lower. So you're working two areas of your tummy at the same time. So if you take your legs in the air and grab one leg and extend the other leg. Now, if you just lift your head, it's not going to be effective. So you need to lift your shoulder blades off the floor so that you draw this section of your body in, so the abdominals connect. So
you shouldn't pull too much on the leg then with your hands, because that's cheating.
You can hold onto your leg a little bit. But the main focus for the lift is here. And also a common error is this, isn't it, Tiz? Shoulders. So we draw the shoulders down away from the ears, but up off the floor. So I'm just going to go wrong. If I get tired and I'm here, I'm better to rest. So I need to be drawn up. So the power is right between the chest and the belly button. Then you take a deep breath. You ready, Tiz? Swap legs. Take a breath and hold, and exhale and swap. So there's a moment when you can't hold onto your legs. You've got to hold yourself up.
All right.
Now the lift here is working the top section, and the movement of the legs is working the lower.
It's all in one exercise then.
It's all in one, so we're getting double benefit here. So this is a good time saver. You don't have to do one for your top, one for your bottom.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. And you just need to make sure you take nice deep breaths and you relax through the neck. Because a lot of women, when they do sit-ups, complain of neck pain, and men, I suppose. So you need to draw the shoulders down. Tiz, just stop.
We
have. So we need to draw the shoulders down there. And that's perfect. You can see that our abdominals are really working there.
And how many reps should you do of this to make it really effective, say, per day?
I think it's a difficult question to answer, because I think what you need to do is as many reps as you can with good technique. So for one person it might be 2 or 3, for another person it might be 22 or 3. If you start to collapse or your shoulders start bunching up and you're losing your technique, then you stop. And then you just aim to progress. Give yourself small goals. Just say, next week I'm going to do 5 more or 3 more, and build up your strength slowly. But I think technique is more important than the number of repetitions that you do.
Ben, is there anything, for example, any kind of particular foods that you can eat that will basically help with strength or with stamina with exercise?
Yeah, definitely. It's about making sure you're getting enough food. What happens to a lot of people on these diets is they cut out, they're already eating low fat, they're going to eat low carb, they don't have much protein anyway, so effectively they're like eating lettuce almost, and then they wonder why they're weak in a training session. So it's important to start eating properly. So we want to be getting protein, carbs and fat at each meal, and we need to be getting enough for our body to be able to effectively do stuff in training sessions.
Okay then. All right. Sorry, I have some more questions here. Let's just try and get one on. Okay, let's have a look here. Right, this is, maybe you've kind of answered this one with the exercise, but this person's asking, this is racially, she's asking, hi Chrissy, how can I lose belly fat? Is it good to use a fat burner supplement, or what exercise can I do, which we've just demonstrated?
Yeah.
And she doesn't have strength in her belly muscle anymore, she says.
It's a really common problem, especially for women who've had children. They feel that they've lost all the strength and the muscle tone in the tummy area. So there's two things I'd say to that. The first one is that you can't spot reduce fat. So if you've got fat in your abdominal area, you have to use a combination of diet and exercise to try and shed fat and hope and pray that it goes from the area that you want it to go from, because you can't choose. But the second thing is that if you do just even a small amount of abdominal exercises every day, even 10 minutes a day, you'll notice a difference.
Really?
And Pilates is all based around strengthening the abdominals. So if you get yourself to a Pilates class, you can't go wrong, and you'll notice a difference.
That's great. The time's flying by today. We're going to go to another quick break. Tiz, thank you so much, and congratulations. You look brilliant. Thank you. So you're doing really well. So okay, let's go to a quick break, and afterwards we'll be back with some more questions from our viewers. And if you want to email as well or contact us, do email me on chris@chrissybshow.tv, or you can post on Facebook, Chrissy B Show TV. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, and as you know, the program's all about getting fit for the summer, and on today's show we've had two brave guests with their personal stories about how they managed to lose weight, and they've given us some pointers. And you can also get in touch as well by emailing us on chris@chrissybshow.tv, or you can do a search on Facebook, which is the Chrissy B Show, and you can post your comments there. Before we go back to our guests, each week on this show we recommend places to visit and to hang out with family and friends, and today's feature is Andy's Taverna in Camden Town, which probably isn't the best thing to show today as we're talking about fitness, but you can go out to restaurants, can't you guys? You can go out to restaurants, you can eat healthily, so as long as your menu choices are good. But let's go to the video first and we'll take a look at this restaurant. Okay, so we're outside Andy's Taverna, and this restaurant has come highly recommended, but we're going to taste the food and let you know exactly what it's like.
Hello. Welcome to Andy's Taverna.
Thank you.
We've got traditional Greek food from Greece and Cyprus.
That's what I like.
We sell in
Thank
fresh
you.
fish, Sibasi Brim, comes from Greece 3 times to 4 times a week. Feel relaxed, and I will help you with the menu to choose the best. Okay?
Thank you. Thanks, Andy. Have you had any yet? Barbara, you can eat, girl. That's good, I like you. I don't know, I haven't tasted it.
You're from Cyprus, aren't you?
Well, I was actually born here, and my mum was born here as well, but my dad was born in Cyprus. But the food and everything is really similar. It's worth coming here just nice. I mean, this is just the starters that we're having, and even just the starters are really delicious. There's like a different taste. It's really nice. was your verdict then? What's the best? Well, that's hard to say because everything was nice, right?
It is really hard to say because it was amazing, all of it. But I definitely have to say the lamb was
the lamb.
What do you think?
Kebab, I'm a kebab girl myself. Yeah, so I just like, you know, the plain, simple, grilled, nice stuff. Yeah, really nice. But everything was lovely.
I think that my favourite dish is probably the one that I ordered, which is the lasagna.
All right, so we've just enjoyed a really fantastic meal here at Andy's Taverna. And what I was thinking before is that most of us normally would go to like these big name restaurants, and we sometimes forget there's some small local restaurants that are really, really nice. So like this one, for example, had some very authentic Greek food, tasted delicious, you know, very home cooked. So we miss that sometimes in the bigger restaurants. So I'm not saying not to go to the other restaurants, but why don't you try some of the local cuisine that you have around you? Maybe you have like a really good restaurant down the road from you, don't even know about it, but we're going to be discovering these restaurants. And as we've discovered this one, I'd like to speak now to the owner, Pedro. So Pedro's really lovely food.
Thank you very much.
So how long have you been here?
I've been here in this restaurant myself for just 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
The restaurant zone has been since 1967.
Okay.
A lot of people they know, they keep coming, regular customers for years and years. Even if they move far away from Camden Town, they keep coming back and they say, oh, we're happy to find you here.
Now you mentioned before as well that you had a garden.
Unfortunately, the weather doesn't help in today to have a nice outside in fresco. Because a lot of people, what they're doing, they take in their book, they have a coffee there, relax, they have some lunch. A lot of people, they come and enjoy the garden here because it's so relaxed that I want my place here to feel relaxed for everyone. That's the main thing.
Okay. All right, Pedro, thank you so much for
my pleasure.
Inviting us here.
I'd like to show you sometime more of my authentic cuisine here.
Okay.
If you'd like to try it again, anytime.
All right, yes, I'll definitely be coming back.
Be my guest.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Okay, that has made me really hungry. I don't know about you, but maybe we should do some exercise instead. But let's ask some more questions to our experts. But first of all, Ben, you've actually released a book, haven't you, about nutrition? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Shape. And what it's basically about, I've been working with people to get in shape for 10 years. And the one thing you can see all the time is that you'll tell somebody to do something and they won't do it. Yeah. So what this book is about, it's about how to change your thinking patterns so that you can stick to your diet, nutrition plan, you can stick to your exercise routine.
A little hint about maybe what's inside, like one tip that you can give us about changing your thinking?
Yeah, there's lots of things. It's that long-term approach I talked about before. Things like if you start at the outset thinking about doing something long-term, that will change everything. Because if you know you can't do this exercise routine for more than 3 weeks, then you're not going to set yourself up for failure. So that's an easy start. And another one is to look at who you associate with, because while I was writing this book, I was looking at how do the people who are in great shape, how do they think compared to normal people who struggle, normal people who fail with their results. And there are different patterns. There are 10 main patterns of thinking that will guarantee you results if you start thinking that way. So other examples would be like friends who you associate with. Well, we can't, get rid of all our friends. If we could just find one person who's into healthy, living and so forth, that helps. This is why trainers, as we got here today, get great results.
Not the ones that say, come, let's go out for a curry tonight and stuff all the time.
Not that you need to get rid of those people, but you need to find some other people. And this is why trainers get good results, because for some people, it's the only person in their life that they'll see who doesn't think and behave the same sort of way. So, and the higher level you go when you look at professional bodybuilders, fitness athletes, they all they train in packs, so that they can all live off each other's vibe. And there are lots of these different principles: how to handle food with emotions. Have you got other outlets? When you start putting these things in place, then you're away from that willpower method, which doesn't work. And we're talking about getting in shape for the summer. We were talking earlier with trainers here. If you just go for that summer holiday, what happens 2 weeks afterwards? For most people, they've already started heading back to where they are. And as a trainer, as a nutritionist, it just kills you to work with somebody, get good results, and then 2 years down the line, you bump into them in the street, and you're like, that wasn't the person I knew 2 years ago, And the only way to keep those results is, to get your mindset right. And this book, is
and that's available on Amazon?
Amazon, good bookshops and so forth, you can get it there. And it's a good first step if you're tired of that cycle of trying and failing, which most people are sadly aware of.
One of the things, we were looking at the book, weren't we, before we came on, and one of the things that Ben talks about is sabotaging yourself. And I often talk to my classes about that, because they'll set off with an idea of what they're going to do, and what they're, you know, I'm going to do 2 Zumba classes a week and a Pilates, right, that's it, I'm going to do it. And then they get home and there's a little voice in their head that says, oh, you're really tired today.
We know that voice, don't we, guys, at home?
Yeah, you really need to sit down.
And it's a very loud voice, isn't it?
Yeah, and it sounds like your mother talking to you, but it is the devil in disguise. It's the one that says, oh, why don't you have a night off? You deserve it. Isn't that right? And then you end up, you sabotage yourself, and you have to learn to recognise that voice as being the sabotage, the thing in your life that's stopping you, and you have to block it out and say, no, my inner goddess says I need to go to class, and I'm going to go to class. And you know, if tiredness is on your list of reasons not to go, then you're setting yourself up for failure, you know. So there's lots.
We're all tired, aren't we, at the end of the day?
We're all tired all the time. Right? We're all tired.
Yeah.
I mean, there's exhaustion. If you've got a baby, newborn baby, then I will allow that as just a good excuse. But a little bit tired, you know, perhaps you've got stuff to do at home. All of those are reasons that we make up for ourselves, aren't they, really? And you can sabotage your own goals.
The good thing that I've seen is that when I've been interviewing people for this book is that I didn't just meet people like actresses and models and people who make money from their body. I've met, you know, single mothers or mothers with 3 kids, pensioners. Every walk of life, there'll be somebody who's achieved their results. And the good thing is, with people who are watching, who may feel it's a lost cause, there is a way they can achieve their results. But it's not just doing what you've always done and always failed. If you can understand, anybody can change their mindset to what should get results, but you just have to think a little bit outside of the box. And this is how I work with people now, is getting them outside of the box. But for anybody watching at home who's a bit down and, you know, worried about it, there is a way out. There will be somebody just like you in that same situation who's turned it all around.
The majority of people feel exactly the same, don't they?
I think it's just the sheer fact as well that it's not just a quick fix. The quick fixes are okay for, you know, 1, 2, 3 weeks. You can lose however much by doing that, but the safest way and the way to sort of avoid yo-yoing your weight is to change your lifestyle rather than just sort of set yourself smaller targets in order to reach a bigger target sort of later on.
So it's not good basically for us to say, then, let's get fit for the summer. It should be, let's get fit for life.
Well,
really,
Let's get fit for life. I like that.
Life,
I think the good thing is, the goals are quite good, because if I'm on holiday 4 weeks, I'm really psyched. And if during that time I start changing my behaviours instead of just head in and sand approach, then it can be worthwhile, because you start off 4 weeks, but if you've changed it, say you found a way to enjoy exercise, then, you know, it's worthwhile, because you can stick to it post-holiday.
That's the key, as long as you've not said, I need to lose 3 stone in 4 weeks to go on my holiday. You know, an unrealistic goal is you're going to fail, and dangerous, and you're going to be depressed, you're going to feel like a failure.
You get unmotivated and things like that.
Yeah, and it can reinforce you back into your old habits.
We've got a few more questions from our viewers here. This one's from Ebony, and she says, how many times should a lady in her late 30s exercise a week? And I do not like going to the gym, and what other kind of exercises can I do, please? Okay, so the government guidelines say that you should do slight to moderate exercise, which means you get slightly out of breath and warm. So you know, you're not pushing yourself and gasping for breath. So that might be walking fast up a hill, right? So you need to do that for 30 minutes, 5 times a day. But it doesn't have to be in one chunk. So you could do 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, but you need to get your heart rate up and feel warm. And that's for the average person. So that would apply to that lady. But if you're suffering from something like obesity or diabetes, then the government recommendations are that you should aim for 45 minutes a day. So it doesn't have to be a structured class. It could be a walk around the block. So for an unfit person, a normal walk around the block will get them into that state where they're slightly warm, heart rate is raised. But for someone who's fitter, then they might need to jog around for 10 minutes, but you need to get your heart rate up for that amount of time. And then the other side of things are, sometimes if a person's not very motivated on their own, then your classes that you both do are ideal for that.
I think it completely, there's no one answer. I think we were discussing this earlier. there's nothing, I mean, you read in magazines about all this celebrity, use this, they do that, but I don't think there's just not this one answer, so it's whatever works for them best. So whether it be if they work out on their own, they're motivated enough to be able to work out on their own, then that's absolutely fine, that works for them. If they're more motivated when someone is there to watch over them, show them what to do, tell them what to do, shout at them a bit if need be, then obviously it's more a class and a more sort of personal training side of things as well. So I think everything sort of...
One of the funny things I find with exercise is people think they're signing a contract for life. But you look at like athletes, how they don't train the same all the time. They might have April where they're training twice a day, and then September they train once every 2 days. But normal people don't do that. I'm signing up for the gym 5 days a week. That goes wrong. I'm back at home watching telly 5 days a week. And if you can tune into how you feel, it will change. You know, so like sometimes I like training in the morning, then next month it's in the evening, and those little things will stop you going. But if you give yourself permission to change, then you can. So you might do Zumba for a month, and then you might train outside on your own. Then you might go to the gym because it's cold.
And variety is more interesting anyway, isn't it? So if you can change what you do, it's going to hold your interest more. And perhaps that lady has tried certain things and hasn't tried different classes or different ways of exercising. And I think if you enjoy what you do, you've got much greater chance of sticking to it than if you really truly don't like it. And there's something for everybody, whatever it is. You've just got to find it.
Just got to stick with it, I think.
Right, I've got another question here from Sibon, and she says, apart from taking iron and multivitamin supplements, getting enough rest and eating foods which contain iron, what more can be done to beat the feeling of tiredness and fatigue? Well, she covered quite a few things already, didn't she? Is there anything else that you could do to beat tiredness and fatigue?
Definitely, because iron isn't the only thing that's related to tiredness and fatigue. So she could be eating sensitive food. So what sensitive food is, basically any food can be sensitive to your body. And when your body is sensitive to it, you eat it, it has a reaction towards it. And what we have this day and age is some of our healthiest foods are now sensitive to our body, because we're designed for variety. So basically, if I would make you eat 10 bananas a day for the next 2 months, I can almost guarantee in 2 months' time your body's going to be annoyed by bananas, because it's like, why the hell are you eating 10 bananas a day? And this is what we got here with today's diet. So most people eat wheat. They have like cereal for breakfast, which is wheat. They have sandwich for lunch, which is wheat. They have pasta for tea, which is wheat. It looks different, but for your body, it's the same food. So she could easily be eating healthy foods that are actually engaging the immune system and therefore draining her energy. Likewise, she could not be eating enough of the right food. So, we're told that low fat is healthy, but that's just one school of thought. We're not told about the other school of thought that says that the body needs fat. We're the only generation in the history of humans to cut out fat from our diet. So it could be that she's following the healthy low fat when the body's saying, give me some fat, and then it becomes energized. So I think it's a bit wrong for her to think that it's just iron linked to energy levels. And there are plenty more she can try, even though, and most people I work with have tried, the conventional methods, and that's why you have to get a little bit outside the box.
Guys, guess what? We've run out of time, unfortunately. It's gone so quickly, but thank you so much for all your advice, and I'm sure it's benefited the viewers. It's benefited me, definitely, and I'm sure it's benefited everyone at home as well. So we have reached the end of the programme. On Monday, we'll be having a programme all about facing your fears. But before we go, we'll leave you with one of our funny YouTube clips for the day, and we have two very unlikely friends that are playing with a ball here. Take a look.
I loved your YouTube clip the other day with the kids. That was great. I always had a kid.
Gib mir's. Gib mir's. Ja, ich soll dir helfen.